You're now watching Q News, and here are the top stories for this hour. Smoke rose from Beirut's southern suburbs as the Israeli hostilities continued. Over the past 24 hours, 57 airstrikes have been recorded, bringing the total number of Israeli assaults since the start of the aggression to 9,588, according to a statement released by the Lebanese Government Emergency Committee. The National Dialogue Conference titled Defending Lebanon has kicked off under the invitation of the Lebanese Forces Party. The conference, uniting opposition leaders and national figures, seeks to create a political framework to end Israel's war on Lebanon through cooperation with Arab nations and the international community. It follows an opposition-led initiative to restore state control, separate Lebanon from regional conflicts, and enforce an immediate ceasefire. Lebanese Defense Minister Maurice Salim has declared that Lebanon does not seek war but will not accept continued Israeli assaults. He emphasized the urgent need for the international community to pressure Israel into implementing UN Resolution 1701 and halting its aggression against Lebanon. Salim also condemned the recent attacks on UNIFIL peacekeepers in southern Lebanon, describing them as further proof of Israel's ongoing occupation and hostility. Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Baqir Qalibaf has met with Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati in Beirut. Following his meeting with Lebanese Parliament Speaker Nabih Berri, Qalibaf held a press conference. He later visited the Iranian embassy in Beirut, where he engaged in discussions with Lebanese MPs and party leaders. U.S. envoy to Lebanon Amos Hochstein has emphasized that the United States had not given the green light for any military operations in Lebanon. He further noted that the U.S. is committed to strengthening the Lebanese army's capabilities in the south. He added that President Joe Biden has been working hard to achieve a ceasefire during the UN General Assembly session. He also stressed the need to fully implement UN Resolution 1701 to resolve the conflict.
This week. And I had a good conversation about the situation in Lebanon.
Cyprus President Nikos Christodoulidis has called for an immediate ceasefire in both Gaza and Lebanon at the Med-9 meeting of European leaders. The leaders met in an attempt to devise ways of de-escalating the Middle East conflict, which is threatening to engulf Lebanon and trigger a wider humanitarian crisis.
Η απελευθέρωση όλων των ομήρων και η παροχή απρόσκοπτης ανθρωπιστικής βοήθειας.
The Israeli occupation forces have renewed their orders for Palestinians in northern Gaza to leave their homes and shelters. Israel's military spokesman Avichai Adrai told people to leave parts of Gaza's Sheikh Radwan neighborhood and other areas in and around Jabalia. In a post on X, Adrai asked people to head south to Muwasi, a packed area in southern Gaza designed by the military as a humanitarian zone. Egyptian Minister of Foreign Affairs and Migration Badr Abdel-Ati has emphasized the necessity of Palestinian unity and strengthening the role of the Palestinian National Authority to meet the aspirations of the Palestinian people. During a meeting with a delegation from the Palestinian Fatah movement led by Mahmoud Al-Alul, the deputy chairman of the movement, Abdel-Ati reiterated Egypt's rejection of plans to displace Palestinians and attempts to separate the West Bank from Gaza. This concludes our top headlines for this hour. Stay tuned for more updates here on Q News.